Hello everyone, welcome back to Total Football Talk. We're going to look at all the latest news and transfer news coming out of Manchester United. And as always, it's just rapid fire at the minute. We are getting news left, right and centre about all kinds of stuff. We're going to look at the first bit of information that is coming from, it was broken last night on CBS via David Ornstein. And I'm going to play a little video. He's talking about Cunha, he's talking about Delap, he's talking about Osimhen, he's talking about Marcus Rashford. He goes through in two separate videos. He goes through quite a lot of information in a very short period of time. So I'm going to play the first video that we
Manchester
have,
United
and that is
in this upcoming transfer window is attack, and they are looking at a centre forward and a number 10 as their main focus. They want to get on with it pretty quickly. The finances are in place, as I understand it, to do the deals they would like to do. They do not depend on European football, I'm told, nor on sales to necessitate them. Their main focus for the number 10 position is Matheus Cunha of Wolverhampton Wanderers. He has a £62.5 million release clause. He wants to come, we're told, but personal terms would still need to be agreed, which is not a formality. Let's see if other clubs come in for him as well. But there is optimism at Old Trafford that they can land him. They have alternatives, the likes of Antoine Semenyo at Bournemouth and also Tyler Dibbling at Southampton. But Cunha is the one they are focusing on. It's not close just yet, but I could see this one developing rapidly. In the striker position, it's Liam Delap of Ipswich Town as their number one target. He has a £30 million release clause if Ipswich are relegated. But there are a lot of other suitors for him, including Chelsea. So there's no guarantee that will happen. I think Liam Delap will decide before the European Under-21 Championships on where he wants to go. If Manchester United are to look at others, I'm assured it will not be Victor Osimhen. Despite reports you might be reading, he is not on the agenda for Manchester United. They will have other options because they might have to turn to them, or they stick with internal solutions such as Erasmus Højlund and they focus on other positions.
So there you have it. The video jumped in a little quicker than planned. We are looking at Cunha, we are looking at Delap, we are looking at what he was talking about Osimhen. Let's kind of break it down a little bit. It looks like there's information that's just been breaking about Cunha, which I'll jump into in just a sec. I'll show the other video. But we've got David Ornstein, which is brilliant. He's coming out and he's in front of camera and he's explaining United's situation. Cunha is our kind of main target alongside Delap. These are the two players that we are 100% in for. These are the two players we've been talking for a long time. Other news broke that from Ben Jacobs that Osimhen, it looks like he's now got interest from Saudi. Apparently, Osimhen will not break his wage demand for anyone. So it looks like the Saudi Pro League is going to be where Osimhen's going to go. So that leaves us in a position where it's either Delap or I don't really know where we go after Delap. I know Jonathan David has kind of been mooted before, but bar him, after that there's Gyökeres, but it looks like we're not going to go anywhere near that at the minute. So what do you good people out there think? Cunha coming in, which is, brilliant news. He's the one I really wanted. Absolutely class. Delap being our main target man up front. I know there's lots of information doing the rounds on how important he is, the way he plays, all his latest statistics. I still am concerned about his age profile, and I've mentioned it before, and I'll just drop it again. Evan Ferguson was another one of these young players, although I think Delap's slightly older than them, so maybe that works in our favour. But it does look like we have an age bracket that we are working to, and we won't go beyond the kind of age of 26. Mazraoui, I think, was our oldest signing last year. 25, 26, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think it's any further than 26. It looks like Delap and Cunha kind of fall into the categories of early to mid-20s. And I think that's where we are heading now. Get your thoughts in below. Delap and Cunha as potential targets coming in, not getting Osimhen's off the table now, and a senior striker does not look like the way we're going to go. So I do feel a little bit for Højlund, I do feel a little bit for Cheeto, because they're going to have to kind of learn without that experienced striker in and around the first team squad. Maybe they'll be able to take, maybe Cunha can bring some of that fire and gold. But he's not a 9, he is a 10 who can play off the left side. And I think he'd be an excellent signing. Now, this is what David Ornstein had to say about the outgoings. And we shall have a quick look at this.
Those other positions may be dependent more on sales, the likes of Rashford, who you talked about at the top. Aston Villa have a £40 million option to buy him. Let's see if they get into the Champions League and whether they are the proposition that he wants to join, and also that they can afford him. I think he could also go elsewhere, of course. He's always liked the idea of somewhere like Spain, Barcelona. We'll have to wait and see. He wants to be in the Champions League. He doesn't want to be in London, we're hearing, and I don't think he has a future at Manchester United. Those funds, on top of perhaps Jadon Sancho going to Chelsea on a permanent basis, Casemiro maybe leaving, Antony, Malacia, let's see what happens with Højlund, moving Eriksen and Lindelof's wages off the bill when they expire in their own terms at the end of the season, could raise a lot of money that Manchester United could reinvest. And I don't think their targets are going to change based on whether they're in Europe or not, or what competition. They're pretty sure in what they want, and they're going to try and do it in a busy summer at Old Trafford. One thing they don't want to have to do is replace Andre Onana if he can prove himself, because a new goalkeeper was not on the agenda. Certainly not a number one. So let's see if he can turn his form around, stay at Old Trafford, and try and provide a bit of stability between the sticks. But there's plenty else that will happen, and we'll keep you across it on NBC.
So there you have it. David Ornstein's talking about how we are going to be able to buy before we actually sell, and obviously the players that we're looking to kind of move on. Marcus Rashford, dependent on kind of where Aston Villa end up, might depend on where he goes. He doesn't want to go to London. Barcelona are an option in terms of what Rashford were like, whether Barcelona would actually want Rashford, maybe, but Barcelona, do they have enough money to kind of cover his wages and a transfer fee? I don't think so. So I don't think Marcus Rashford can come back to Manchester United. I think all the people out there who have good information, I'm talking about Adam Maddix on the United United Forever United TV, he's got a really good understanding of the Rashford information, worth checking out if you want to get a bit more information on that. But it does really look like that Marcus Rashford will not be coming back to Manchester United, but it's what do Manchester United do, and how do they figure this out? Because Aston Villa, after losing to City 2-1 a couple of nights ago, does feel like City are now going to find it really difficult to get into the top five. It's not impossible, but that they are kind of drifting a little bit. And I don't think, if Villa are not in the Champions League, I don't think Marcus Rashford will stay there, because I don't know whether they can afford the wages and the transfer fee. I just don't know whether that would be possible for them, and whether that would be suitable even for Marcus Rashford at this stage. Marcus Rashford has come out in a comment and said that he thinks he has the ability to come back and make it at Manchester United, where he was talking to Sky Sports. I don't think that's quite going to be the case. I think his sort of relationship with Ruben Amorim is broken to the point where of no return. So so that's that. Jadon Sancho, Antony, Casemiro, Lindelof, Eriksen, when all these players leave, hopefully we'll get a fee for some of them, and some of them will be just wages off the bill, off the books, and that will allow us to free up some more sort of money to potentially move for other players beyond Delap and Cunha later in the transfer window. So we are moving quickly, which is amazing, because we are a slow-moving club. We always have been, especially under the Glazer era. We've been absolutely shocking, but we do seem to be doing things slightly different this time around, which does give me a little bit of hope. It's been a shocking season, and it's been a hard slog to try and get through the season, but that is where we are with everything. What do you think about all those players that we're trying to sell? Do you think we can get rid of them? Do you think we can get a decent fee for them? And who would you like to see come in? Because all these players going, but we are going to have to replace some of them. We can't just let all these players go and not have replacements lined up. Some anyway. So who would you like to see come in as some of these replacements? And we do know that it will be younger players, but anything in mind would be great to hear. Okay, so this was the news that was breaking this morning. This is breaking everywhere, and this is the United District, who are really good. Negotiations for Matthias Cunha to join Manchester United this summer are apparently done. United have an agreement in place for the Brazilian to join Old Trafford, and they will pay 62.5 million. Is expected to be completed before the transfer window opens. Now, as I said, this is breaking everywhere, all over Twitter, all over X. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's got the same story. I think this is brilliant news. I'm delighted that we are in a position where we could actually get Cunha done before the transfer window opens. Maybe he can sort of sign the 1st of June. He can be on that plane, and he can get on he can be part of the squad that goes out for the tours and stuff. And I think that is imperative that happens for Ruben Amorim, to give him the opportunity to bring in the players that he wants to fit his system, to make sure that when we start next year, we are off on an absolute flyer. So brilliant news this morning. Get your thoughts in. Cunha, yes, are you delighted to see him come in, or would you have preferred someone else? Would love to hear from you. Now, this was a caption put up by Cunha. Arsenal supporters were asking Cunha to come, and Cunha had a very interesting reply on this. You know, I don't know whether it's true or not, but it does look like it is the blue tick on his account, so it is quite funny. I just thought I'd bring it in. You know, he talks about Manchester United and that we are where we are with that one. Now, there is talk about Manchester United and a young kid from France, and I believe that we are looking to Enzo, his name is, and it looks like we could be sort of buying him and then putting him out to our feeder club in France, and this could be the way that Manchester United start working in the multi-club system. And so this is what was kind of, this is the news first. And a move for Manchester United's 18-year-old, or a move for 18-year-old Le Havre striker Enzo Kana-Biyik is looking good for Manchester United, according to C. Mozilla. And I believe that this is another one that has been doing the rounds, and it does look like this could potentially, this could potentially kind of move quickly. And this is what sort of Swedish Rumble had to say about it. You know, he kind of breaks it down how the model would work. And he says sort of it's a big deal in the sense that it's the first time that Manchester United and the Ineos multi-club group are going to work. It's in what way can this benefit Manchester United? If United sign a kid for 10 million and pay him sort of 5k, the kid a year can cost up to 2.25 million. It's not much if you sign a couple of players like this per year. You perhaps get 6 or 7 on the books at the same time, and those yearly costs can add up. So United obviously have got a long-term vision, a long-term plan to try and bring players in, younger players, maybe use the multi-club system, send them out, either build on their fees so they do well and they come back and we sell them on at a higher price, or they come back and do well and we get the opportunity to sort of bring them into the first team and integrate them nicely and, slowly, and give them an opportunity to thrive, and hopefully what will be a thriving team as we move forward. So it's fascinating that Manchester United are now looking to operate like many other clubs do. We know that City do this, we know that Chelsea do this, and they do it very, very well. And now we are kind of following suit, but yet again we are so far behind everyone else. We need to pick up the speed and make it happen absolutely quickly. So this is one to keep an eye on. Be interesting to see what happens. And this was the little bit of information that was coming out on Marcus Rashford, and this was, Marcus Rashford feels the door is not completely closed on a return to Manchester United, and he's prepared to fight for his place. Rashford believes that he could have a future at Old Trafford despite the current situation, having spent his whole career there as a boy. Yeah, I just think this is dead in the water. I think we need to move Rashford on. We need to get the wages off the books. We need to get a fee in for him. Better for him, better for us, just to make a clean and fresh break. He's gone away since the January. He's had that opportunity to kind of revitalise his career and get going again. And I think that is the way forward for Marcus Rashford. And now this was just another little story that I'd read, which I thought was quite interesting. Runs into the Mara story, the kind of American athlete coach that we had a little while back, and this is coming from the Kenya kind of long distance runner Uliad Ekipichod. I apologize, I absolutely botched that one. So he said he's watched United all season in training so he could see what it was. I've shared my experience of fitness and running and my philosophy and thinking, because in sport it's all about the heart and the mind. They're learning that slowly, and soon they will all be there. I believe that Manchester United will be on fire next season. So, behind the scenes, we've got different people coming in, doing different types of jobs. As I said, Mara came in, the sort of, Kipachuch, oh God, I can't pronounce his name. Obviously, this Kenyan sort of long distance sort of runner has come in and has sort of assessed the squad mentally and physically, and is trying to help Manchester United players have that ability to run longer in games. And obviously Manchester United are trying to do things slightly differently. Whether it's going to work or not, I have no idea. I mean, maybe this is a ridiculous story and there's nothing in it. Maybe we will bear the fruits of the experience that these sort of outsiders are bringing into Manchester United. I don't know, time will tell. But that's where we are with that. And then I've kind of gone on, but guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're enjoying the content, hit the old subscribe button. Please hit the like button too. And yeah, I'm going to call it there. I went well over this morning. Sorry, guys.